Thank you very much. Next, we will hear from the Jewish Public Affairs Committee of California.
Thank you, Chair Jackson, for convening this really critical conversation. I'm David Bocarsly. I'm the Executive Director of JPAC, the Jewish Public Affairs Committee of California. We're a coalition of 40 leading Jewish organizations across the state, and we serve as the collective voice of California's Jewish community. In this moment of rising division, it feels like all of our communities are vulnerable all at once, and it can be hard to step outside our own narratives, but that's why these conversations are essential. Because the only way we move forward is together. Allyship, coalition building, deep listening, these aren't just ideals, these are survival tools. These values also run deep in Jewish tradition. Supporting our neighbors is the most common commandment in the Torah. Half of JPAC's member organizations focus on social services and civil rights, serving majority non-Jewish populations under a Jewish banner led by Jewish staff, volunteers, and donors. It's why we've fought for health and food for all, why we've condemned the rise in racist and Islamophobic hate and threats to diversity programs, why we advocate for LGBTQ rights, work to counter mass incarceration, fight poverty, and defend religious freedom for all. Our story and our community's diversity remind us what it means to be vulnerable. Nearly 1 in 5 Jews in this country are Jews of color. Many of us are immigrants. Many struggle with poverty. So when vulnerable communities are targeted, the Jewish community feels it too. And alongside that reality, anti-Semitism is also rising at unprecedented levels, and our community is deeply, deeply shaken. It's important for us to show up for ourselves and ask our allies to do the same. Over the last decade, we've seen white supremacist terror targeting Jews move from the shadows to the headlines, from Charlottesville to Colleyville, from synagogue shootings in Pittsburgh and here in Poway to attacks right in my Los Angeles neighborhood where 2 visibly Jewish men who wear a kippah like me were shot at on consecutive days while walking down the street. Each of these attacks was fueled by the same conspiracy, the false belief that Jews secretly control society, seeking to replace white Americans with people of color. And in the aftermath of Hamas's horrific terror attack on October 7th, 2023, and the subsequent war, anti-Semitic violence has escalated again, this time with a different motive, but the same conspiracy at its core. In recent months, Pennsylvania's Jewish governor has had his home set on fire during Passover. 2 young adults were murdered leaving a Jewish Heritage Month event in DC. Jewish demonstrators were firebombed in Boulder. And here in California, we've seen assaults, vandalism, and death threats targeting Jewish leaders and community spaces. These incidents have come in the name of opposing Israel, but do you see the pattern? This hate is rooted in the same false belief in Jewish control. This time, that every Jew, no matter their views, is responsible for the actions of a foreign military power. They are strikingly similar forms of hate, yet far too many people justify or ignore one if it suits their politics. In California alone, anti-Semitic incidents have more than doubled over the past 5 years, according to the new state DOJ data. And Jews are now the second most targeted group in the state, despite being just 3% of the population. Our schools, the incubators for California's futures, are also moving in the wrong direction here. California schools have seen a 623% increase in anti-Semitic incidents over the last decade. That includes harmful content in curricula, anti-Semitic rhetoric from school and district leaders, and bullying of Jewish students, and very little taught about the Jewish American experience or of contemporary anti-Semitism all the while. Part of the challenge, as I see it, is the misunderstanding of who Jews are. State and federal law, many leaders, and even DOJ data refer to us as a religion, but that flattens the lived experience of many Jews. Yes, Judaism is a religion, but we're also a peoplehood, an ethnicity. In fact, more than half of American Jews say that religion is not central to their lives. For many, the primary connection to Jewish identity is through history, language, food, culture, shared characteristics, and or a deep connection to the land of Israel. On that last point, 8 in 10 American Jews say caring about Israel is part of their Jewish identity. That doesn't mean we all agree with Israeli policy, far from it. We are a politically diverse community with a proud tradition of dissent. And others have every right to criticize Israel too, but far too many are unwilling to do the hard work of learning how to do so without harming Jews. And when we push back, We're often met with accusations of censorship or even racism. That response leaves our community already carrying generations of trauma, feeling deeply alone. For those of us who have devoted our lives to the fight for racial and economic justice, it has been heartbreaking to see how October 7th made it politically toxic for some to stand up to anti-Semitism, and in some cases even justify it. Trust, admittedly, has been broken, and this critical inter-community work feels that much harder. So I know that every community here carries its own stories of pain and struggle, and I'm grateful to be here to share our lived experience and really hear all of yours as one small step toward rebuilding that trust. I ask that you all join me on that journey, learn about Jewish culture and anti-Semitism, and condemn it clearly and unequivocally, even when it's uncomfortable, because fighting hate cannot be selective. And share your stories with us and expect the same from us in return. And to the legislature, we are grateful for your sustained partnership, but there is still a lot more work we can do. We need to track anti-Semitism as the complex identity-based hate that it is. We need to pass protections like AB 715 to safeguard Jewish and all students. We need to invest in education, in security, and in programs that build understanding and not division. And let me be clear, as I ask for your partnership, I reaffirm our commitment to standing with every community represented here. Our liberation is connected, as activist Emma Lazarus and Dr. King both reminded us. None of us are free until all of us are free. These waves of hate are designed to exhaust us, to pit us against one another, to make us retreat into silence, but that's not who we are. The only way we build a future that is safe, just, and whole is together. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Next, we will have the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights.